At the family meeting, they called me poor. But they didn't know I own the house. There's a special kind of silence that falls when people realize they've been mocking the wrong person. That silence? I own it now, along with the house they were laughing in. You see, at the last family meeting, they called me the poor cousin. Whispered about my thrift clothes and cheap car. Laughed behind my back. But they didn't know one thing. The house they were sitting in was mine. Growing up, I was always the outsider in my extended family. While my cousins bragged about summer homes and designer bags, I was working night shifts and budgeting coupons. They flaunted wealth. I saved in silence. So when Grandma passed away and left her beloved house behind, the family voted to hold our first annual meeting there, a big potluck, loud conversations, and the usual who's better than who competition. I offered to help organize it. They barely acknowledged me. Aunt Lisa joked that I finally had time since I didn't have a real job. Uncle Bob called me a charity case under his breath. Even my own sister chimed in saying, "At least we know who won't be covering the drinks." I smiled, bit my tongue, and served lemonade with a grin in my house. Because what they didn't know was that a year before Grandma passed, she offered me the house, quietly said she trusted me to keep it safe. The paperwork was signed. The deed was mine. I fixed it up, paid the taxes, and kept it quiet out of respect. But disrespect, that changed everything. Midway through the gathering, as they all sat in the living room boasting about investments and new Teslas, Cousin Mia, who always loved an audience, snorted and said, "So tell us, what do you even do?" "Still selling stuff on Etsy?" The room erupted in snickers. That was my cue. I stood up, cleared my throat and said, "Actually, I'd like to make an announcement." They rolled their eyes. I walked over to the mantel, pulled out a folder, and calmly laid the house deed on the coffee table. "This house you're sitting in? You've been calling it Grandma's, but it's not. It's mine. Has been for almost a year now." Silence. I watch color drain from their faces like syrup from a bottle. And before anyone gets clever, yes, it's legally mine. Paid off. Renovated. Protected. You're welcome for the central heating and the new roof, by the way. No one spoke. Even Aunt Lisa put down her glass of Chardonnay. And since you all think I'm so poor, you should know, my little Etsy side hustle now makes 6 figures a year. I just bought my second property. But don't worry, I won't invite any of you to the next meeting. I took a sip of my lemonade and smiled. You'll confine the door whenever you're ready. They left speechless. You see, real wealth isn't loud. But revenge. Oh, it echoes in every room I own. If that made you feel powerful, hit subscribe right now. New twist drops every day. Subscribe, like, share.